Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Bouncing Back with Brighton. Now first of all, I want to apologise for the lack of uploads recently. I had a cough near the back end of last week which eventually led to my voice completely going on Saturday night, and it's took the last few days just to sort of get it back to a reasonable level. It's still not 100% as you can probably tell, but it's good enough to get a few episodes recorded. But anyway, in today's episode we are going to face Ajax in the Europa League quarter-final, both legs. And of course, there's been a few fixtures to review since the last time we met. So if you can think back all that way to the last time we met, which was against Stuttgart, we won that one, what was it, like 7-0 on aggregate or something like that. We followed that up with a really disappointing 3-1 away defeat to Arsenal. Jeremy Doku had put us in front inside 1 minute, and then John Souttar got himself sent off in the 32nd minute, which basically completely collapsed our side. Lucas Torreira equalised before half-time. Aubameyang after half-time, and Eden Hazard with a penalty in the 79th minute. It was just, once the sending off was done, our game was over. We couldn't really get back into this. We then had an absolutely fantastic result, this time against Manchester City at home. I believe they were either in 4th or 3rd at the time and we were in the other position. So getting the win over them was absolutely massive. Leon Bailey put them in front in the 72nd minute. Rodrigo Marquez though, 84th, 88th, absolutely phenomenal, putting us 2-1 in front. And then Diogo Aquina got us a goal in 89th just to make sure, and we got the 3 points. And Football Manager gives with one hand and takes with the other. We then drew 1-1 at home to Everton. Bentley had put us in front in the 75th minute, but Quincy Promes equalised for them in the 84th, and that's how things finished. But as you can see by the match stats, 3 shots on target out of 20. That is a little bit unbelievable. We didn't have Rodrigo Marquez up front. We had tried him on the right-hand side due to injuries and stuff, and played Alan Romoli up front, but didn't really work out, so meh. And finally, there was a home tie against Aston Villa. I believe they were in the relegation zone when we played them. Won this one 3-0. Mbolo, you remember him? We signed him. He was going to be our first choice right winger. He was going to be absolutely unbelievable. And then he kept getting injured and kept getting injured and kept getting injured. He is now fit. Whether that means he gets much game time, I don't know. It would mean dropping Alvarado, which is something, considering he's probably been our best player outside of Marquez, it would be a bit disappointing for him. But I do want to give this boy game time because he does have massive potential, and we're paid a lot of money from £22.5 million. So we'll have to see how that goes. Maybe off the bench quite a lot. Bentley got the second goal in the 46th minute, and Marquez again in the 72nd. And that sees the Premier League table looking like this. We are in 3rd position. We're only 1 point behind Manchester United in 2nd. But Man City could go above us if they win their game in hand, which you would imagine they do. So they will probably jump to 2nd. We will drop to 4th. But that puts us 5 points clear of Arsenal in 5th and Tottenham in 6th. And that's what we're looking out for now. 5 points clear with 7 games to go. Can we make it? In terms of the rest of the schedule in the Premier League, apart from Man United, we've got a pretty easy run in, but a lot of away games, which is an issue. Maybe it's not so easy. But anyway, moving on to today's game, we're just going to win the Europa League instead, and we don't even need to finish top 4. If Bayer Leverkusen could beat Barcelona, that would be quite handy. We are having a real crisis at centre-back for today's game. This isn't great, but this is how it's going to go. Butland in goal, Tavares at right back, Tudor Baluta in at centre back. Unfortunately, we haven't registered Tomori, who didn't really care. I'd rather he wasn't. Neither Leo Ostergaard. Nathan Wood is suspended, and Badiashile is still injured. Well, there's 4 centre back options out. That's not very good. John Souttar will partner Tudor Baluta at centre back. Carlos Julio at left back. Bentley and Aquino in the centre. Sebastian Yaros returns to the side after injury. Gravenberch and Doku. No, I don't want Doku. We'll put Alvarado in on the left-hand side, and we'll start Rodrigo Marquez up top. So Ajax are obviously probably one of the best sides we could have drawn that's still left in the competition. That doesn't mean they've got a bad side. They haven't got a bad side. They've got a very competent side, and yeah, we'll still have to be at least towards the best of our game if we are to get past them. So we kick off against Ajax. We are at home in the first leg, which isn't ideal. We shoot from left to right in this first half. Highlight, early doors, only 47 seconds in. Tavares to Aquino from the edge. That was ambitious, let's put it that way. Another highlight now, Gravenberch pinches the ball in midfield from Ajax. Alvarado on the left hand side, plays the ball in. Rodrigo Marquez was there, and he should have put us 1-0 up. It's simple as that. Another highlight, Yaros with a free kick, plays it to Alvarado. That is the simplest set piece you will ever see on Football Manager. Really well played by Yaros to actually spot Alvarado in the tiniest little bit of space. The defender completely fell asleep. Alvarado steps in, gets his 20th goal of the season, and what a fantastic start. As we approach half-time, I would like another couple of goals from this game. Obviously, being away from home in the second leg puts us under a little bit of pressure. In terms of the other legs, Barcelona are naturally beaten by Leverkusen at home, and Leipzig are beating Lyon. I would rather actually Lyon beat Leipzig. I'm terrified of Red Bull Leipzig for some reason. Timo Werner's probably that reason. But a decent first half from us. Not sensational, but good enough. So we'll kick off for the second and see how we get on. Another highlight now. Bentieb cuts out a pass from the Ajax defences to try to break on us. But thankfully he was there to stop that. And they'll get the ball to Gravenberch. Aquino. A couple of men on that right hand side if we can feed the ball over. Tavares has made 2 good runs there. Nobody's... Bentieb, come on man, you've got the range of passing if we need it. Jaros gets the ball in back post and Alvarado's there. And again, you would have put your house on him scoring that there. Jaros, another cheeky one at the front post. It's not. It's going to be an Ajax counter-attack with Labiad. He switches the play lovely to Dusan Tadic. He switches the play again to David Neres. And that would have been a fantastic goal. Thankfully, Jack Butland manages to keep them out and keep us at 1-0. But the highlight's not over. Corner's cleared. But still not over. Labiad, again on this right-hand side, has got all the time in the world to pick out the pass. And John Sutar comes and pinches it off him as Jaros plays in a corner for ourselves. Thomas Tavares to Jaros down this right-hand side to Gravenberch to Bentieb. Bentieb switches the play to Carlos Julio. Get the ball in. Now, it's a poor cross really. Should be doing a little bit better with that. Probably trying to take on his man and get down to the byline. Tavares again with the ball in this time. It's cleared once more. Only as far as Julio who takes a strike. That's some whip on it there, but a good save by the Ajax goalkeeper. Rodrigo Marquez isn't having the greatest game up top. Do we actually bring on Jeremy Doku up front? Let's give him a go. You never know. He might do the business. And we'll bring on Mbalo for Sebastian Jaros as well. Get him some game time. Actually, do I want to make the triple sub? Yeah, we'll bring on Marco Bulat for Ryan Gravenberch, who's constantly knackered at about 70 minutes. Another highlight now with only 15 minutes to go. And Carlos Julio has picked up the ball from an Ajax goal kick. Bentieb, lovely play out to the left-hand side for Julio. The ball's played in back post and Mbalo. That's 3. We should have had another 3 goals in this game. We've missed 3 sitters. Thankfully, Alvarado got that first one. Otherwise, I will be sweating as Sean here. Oh, Jesus. Is that offside? Get the VAR out, ref. Yes, it's offside. Didn't panic. We haven't been convincing in today's game whatsoever. Here we go again. Sean with a free kick. Goes in the back of the net this time. And Ajax, suddenly, a favourites for this tie. 1-1. Them opportunities have come back to bite us right in the bum. Jack Butland probably could have done a little bit better there, but it was a decent free kick by Sean here. Disappointing. Hugely disappointing. So Alvarado, Mbalo and Marquez all had clear-cut opportunities, none of which they're taken. 1-1. We'll have to go away from home now and win, basically. They've got the away goal. We need a... How did the rest of the Europa League finish up anyway? Barcelona 2-0 as expected. Lyon did equalise late on, so they have got the advantage going into the second leg. And Young Boys beating Valencia 2-0 away from home. That's really good. Alexander Soloth though. And Andrea Schürrle. They've got some okay players. But anyway, the next leg isn't for another week. We've got Newcastle in between, so I'll see you at the second leg. And we're back for the second leg against Ajax. We did play Newcastle in between and we managed to win that one 3-1. Gravenberch, Aquino and Marquez with the goals all in the first half. Second half was incredibly quiet after that. Obviously a very difficult game coming up against Ajax. I'm not sure how we're going to line up in terms of fitness and stuff. Does Badiashile actually come in? Where's Sutar? Is he suspended? Oh, Sutar's suspended. Badiashile's not exactly fit. Whereas Tudor Baluta's injured as well, which is an issue. Centre halves are becoming a real issue, but I think I'm going to just have to risk Badiashile. And he's not required, but isn't fully ready to play. Badiashile's not ready to play. He's going to get injured. I'm telling you now. Gravenberch is injured as well, so we're going to have to play Marco Bulat, I think. Sebastian Jaros can come out for Mbalo on that right-hand side. And I think this is how it's going to go. So Butland in goal, Tavares, Wood, Badiashile and Carlos Julio in the defence. Bentieb and Aquino in the centre. Mbalo, Marco Bulat and Jeremy Doku in the attacking midfield spots with Rodrigo Marquez leading the line. This isn't ideal, honestly. Injuries galore potentially and a weakened side. It's definitely a weakened side. So we're just going to have to gamble here. Let's see how things go in today's match. So they come at us with a 4-4-2 this time, changing formation whilst they're at home. That's a little bit better for us, I think. It leaves them a little bit more open. So we'll see how that goes for us. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get knocked out in today's game. 1-1 in the first leg's tough. And then a weakened side away from home in the second leg with injuries to boot. I can pretty much guarantee you now Badiashile is getting injured in this match. But it was a risk that we had to take. Europa League is pretty much our focus now. I know the league is incredibly important as well. But cup competition, Europa League, you win this, you get Champions League. It's got to be our focus. Early highlight, 4 minutes in, and we are in possession with Bulat to Doku on the left-hand side who cuts in. Come on, Tavares, get down that wing. He heads out, gives the ball Ajax. And Ajax have played the ball well out of danger, and David Neres gets dispossessed by Jeremy Doku, though on this left-hand side. He cuts back, he's going to go for goal. Was a poor shot. He hasn't got a right foot, honestly. Another highlight now, this time it's Ajax who are on the attack. David Neres in the box. Tavares manages to clear, and Doku can break with pace. Oh, it's 2-on-2. Come on, Marquez. Get it back post. He goes for goal. Come on, Marquez. I know you're a striker, but you need to be a little bit less selfish. Bentia with the corner in. Can we get anything from this? The ball's bobbling about. It's cleared. And if this isn't end a highlight, it's an actual Ajax counter-attack with Traore. Labiad gets dispossessed though. Thank God for that. Another highlight now. Labiad with a free kick for Ajax. Butland claims it. And hopefully we can counter or break or do something. Butland with a huge kick up. It goes over all the Ajax players, and Marquez with another opportunity. That's 2. And there is the half time. As things stand, we are exiting the Europa League competition at the quarter-final stage. Looks like Lyon are going to end up beating Red Bull Leipzig as they are down to 10 men and 2-0 up already. Young Boys looks like they're going through against Valencia. Barcelona is still 2-0 up on aggregate. So it's basically our tie that's in the balance. And at the minute, Ajax have the advantage. We're dominating the game. We are creating opportunities. We're just on taking them as a corner comes for Ajax. Labiad plays it in. It's cleared by us. Get there, Aquino. He doesn't get there, and Ajax maintain possession. Daley Blind plays out the left-hand side to Tadic to Tagliafico. Is he going to play the ball in? He is. Wood clears. Bulat. Come on, Marquez. Switch the player. No, he's played at Mbalo, who can drive forward, though. He sets away Marquez again. Back post. Doesn't need it. Doesn't need it. Be more greedy, my son. 1-0 up, 2-1 in aggregate. His 37th goal of the season. A good assist by Mbalo, justifying his place in the first 11. Right, we kind of need a turtle. Do we go cautious? I'm thinking I'm going cautious. And we need to bring Ajax out a little bit. We'll maybe get some opportunities ourselves, whilst also maintaining some defensive stability. Let's just see how this plays out. So with 20 minutes to go, Badiashile would love to come off this pitch. But I'm not bringing Rizzulion on in his place, so he's going to have to stay out there. Tavares having a great game. I'm resistant to take him off. Gravenberch is injured, so I don't really want to take... Who's fit? Who we could bring on? We could bring on Rizzulion. That's not really a downgrade. Sebastian Yaros could come on in case Mbalo decides to get himself sent off. And Alvarado could come on for Doku as well. Or do we save it? I think we save it just in case Badiashile gets himself injured. But with 15 minutes to go, 1-0 up. Let's just hold out, boys. Nothing silly, please. 6 minutes to go. It's a corner for us. It's cleared by Ajax, but only as far as Doku, so we'll maintain possession. Bentia again gives the ball away, and Tadic can come away for Ajax now. Please, do not do this to me. Tavares cuts it out. Butland, nothing stupid. There wasn't anything stupid, but there still could be something stupid. Butland clears. Ajax again win the possession, but we'll win it back with Bentia. Thank God. Yaros plays it through to Doku. Bulat's in. Open goal. Well, not open goal, but completely free chance. And Marco Bulat, filling in for Gravenberch in that attacking midfield spot, gets his 6th goal of this season. And surely now, books our place in the semi-finals of the Europa League. Ajax would now require 3 goals to be able to go through. No extra time is going to be happening in today's game. 5 minutes to go. Surely we're through. Please. Oh, it's just 1 minute later, straight away. Tagliafico plays the ball in. Badiashile clears, and Bulat. Can you come away with it, my son? He can. Marquez and Doku. Marquez back post, Doku. Come on. Come on. You could have played it in there. Aquino back to Bentia. Bulat. Back to Rizzulion on this left hand side. He gets the ball in. It's cleared, but only as far as Bentia. Tavares. Can he get the ball in? He tried. Let's give him that. He tried. Bulat to Yaros. Somebody create the opening. There you are, Reguilón again. Get the ball in. Oh, that's a penalty. Well, that went in, but to be honest. Right, we'll take the penalty. Marquez is going to step up for it. Could he get his 38th goal of the season, his second goal for today's game? He can, and there it is. 3-0 Brighton. I was never worried. Were you worried? I wasn't worried. And this will be the final highlight of the game, and there we have it. Come on, ref. Blow the full-time whistle. We don't need to see the goal kick. There it is. Full-time. Brighton 3, Ajax 0. 4-1 on aggregate. So after a very difficult first leg, let's just say, we did bounce back in the second. Badiashile did not get injured, which is brilliant. He's going to get rested though, without a doubt. So in terms of the other teams, it has went as expected. Young Boys are through, Barcelona are through, Lyon are through, and ourselves are through. If we could avoid Barcelona, that would be great. The draw for the next stage is in the next day, so it should be coming up rather quickly. So we'll quickly get to there and do the draw live. So Young Boys are obviously the first choice. Olympic Lyon are obviously the second choice. But we are going to have to face Barcelona one time or another if we are going to win this competition. You can imagine they are going through to the final no matter what. So Olympic Lyon comes out first, Barcelona. So we've got the best draw. Young Boys are away first leg, home second leg. Should I say we're through to the final? I probably shouldn't say it, but I feel it. You know, Young Boys, they're a decent side, obviously getting to this stage of the competition. Who is their key player? Mikel. I mean, look, that's their key player. That's listed as their key player. We've got about 4 of him in our start lineup, so you know we should be able to get past these hopefully and make it through to the Europa League final, which is of course why we're returning for the next episode. Both legs we'll have to play West Ham and Wolves in between. That is just such a nightmare fixture set. That Young Boys, then 3 days later West Ham, then 2 days later Wolves, then 2 days later Young Boys. I'm going to have to, but see, we can't afford to give up the league either. The league table, as things stand, is looking like this. We're in second position, 2 points ahead of Man United, 3 points ahead of Man City, who have a game in hand, and 5 points clear of Arsenal in 5th. So we're sort of still in the same predicament, still in the same position, but we have managed to leapfrog Manchester United, which is good, who we've still got to play as well. Champions League football is everything for next season. Whether that's the league or the Europa League, I don't really care. But I think we've got a better opportunity in the league, actually. With Barcelona still in the Europa League, I think, you know, even if we get to the final, it's highly unlikely that we'll beat them. So maybe top 4 and the Premier League and the league itself, it should be where I put my focus, but I can't guarantee that I'm going to do that. But anyway, if you have enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like, and if you are enjoying my content, get yourself subscribed. But until next time, take it easy.